How many of you have this going through your mind when you're sitting for your exam? How is it all the questions are from the topics I did not cover? Okay, I've done question 1. I have a good feeling for this exam. Let's do question 2 now.
Okay, students, time's up.
I wonder what my mommy is gonna cook for me later.
Surpala depend.
Sorry, mommy. Hey guys, this is Jeremy J and welcome to Illustrated Maths. Hey guys, welcome to Illustrated Maths, a channel which uses illustration and analogies to explain mathematics. Today we're going to do another video of the top 10 questions in exam. The topic for today is geometry of coordinates, which was chosen by Crystal Nisha. Thank you, Nisha. If you guys want me to do another video of the top 10 questions in exam, let me know in the comment section below. Please hit the subscribe button as I'll be releasing a video every week and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Okay, let's begin. Number 10. Starting off our list at number 10, we have a question from GCE O-levels November 2017 paper. This question combines two subtopics of geometry coordinates. The question itself is not so tough, but a slight slip in concentration can cost you the final answer. The coordinates of P and Q are 0, 7 and 10, negative 1. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of PQ. Then, find n if the length of PQ is the square root n units, where n is an integer. To find the midpoint, we use the midpoint formula as stated here. We substitute the x values from P and Q, which are 0 and 10, and then we substitute the y values from P and Q, which are 7 and negative 1. The answer of the midpoint is 5, 3. To find the length of PQ, we use the distance formula as stated here. 0 minus 10 squared plus 7 minus negative 1 squared. The length of PQ is said to be square root of n. So since square root of n is square root of 164, we get the answer for n as 164. Number 9. At number 9, we have a question from SPM 2019 paper. Students often rate questions that involve the ratio theorem, especially the ones that don't provide any illustration. This means we have to be extra careful constructing the diagrams from the words. It is given that point A, 1, 3, and point B, 4, 7, lie on the Cartesian plane. The straight line AB is extended to point C such that its distance from point B is twice the distance of AB. Find the coordinates of C. First, we roughly sketch the line AB. We then extend the line to point C, making the length BC twice the length of AB. Looking at this sketch, we know point B is segmenting line AC in the ratio of 1 to 2. Using the ratio theorem, which is 2 multiplied the x of A plus 1 multiplied the x of C divided by 2 plus 1 for the coordinate of x, and 2 multiplied the y of A plus 1 multiplied the y of C divided by 2 plus 1 for the coordinate of y. We compare the values of x and y with point B. For the value of x, we get 2 plus x divided by 3, which is equals to 4. And for the value of y is 6 plus y over 3, which is equals to 7. Solving for x, we get the answer x equals to 10. And solving for y, we get the answer y equals to 15. So point C is 10, 15. Number 8. It is important to read the questions thoroughly and picture the workings in your mind before attempting the questions on paper. This will help us avoid unnecessary workings and save us precious time. P is the point -3, 4, R is the point -6, 0, and O, the origin, is the point 0, 0. Which of the point P or R is closer to point O? Show your working. We roughly sketch the points so that we can visualize the position of the points. We first find the distance RO, which we will use the distance formula. Substituting the values -3 and 4 and also 0, 0, we will get the answer of 5. Since line PO is actually a horizontal line, we just need to take 0 minus -6 to get the distance. So R is closer to point O. Number 7. At number 7, we have another ratio theorem question. Sometimes questions don't require us to sketch, but that doesn't mean we don't have to. Sketching can give us a bird's eye view of the question and uncover hidden information, saving us time and preventing us from making mistakes which otherwise can be easily made. A straight line passes through P, 3, 1, and Q, 12, 7. The point R divides the line segment PQ such that 2PQ equals to 3RQ. Find the coordinates of R. We first find the ratio of PQ versus RQ, which is 3 to 2. Since RQ is 2/3 of the whole line, PQ, so point R is closer to P compared to Q. This means that PR is 1/3 of PQ. Now that we know the ratio of PR to RQ, we can use the ratio theorem to find point R. Substituting the x and y's of P and Q, we will get the answer 6, 3 for R. Number 6. At number 6, we have GCE O-levels June 2015 paper. Deriving equations from the distance formula can be tricky, especially if you have unknowns in both sides of the equation. A slight mistake in the algebraic expression can cost you the whole question. The only consolation in this question is that the answer is already given to you. You just need to prove it. Q is the point -1, 2. R is the point 3, 10. A point P is such that PQ equals to PR. Show that x plus 2y equals to 13. We have to show the distance of PQ is equals to PR. So we use the distance formula for this question. Substituting x of P, x of Q, y of P and y of Q, we will get the distance of PQ. And substituting x of P and x of R, y of P and y of R, we will get the distance PR. We first get rid of the square root by squaring both sides. X squares and y squares can be eliminated. and then we simplify our equation, we will end up with the answer x plus 2y equals to 13. Number 5. At number 5, we have another trig question from GCE O-levels, November 2015 paper. This question tricks you into thinking that you have to use a particular method from geometry of coordinates, but in actual fact, there is another method which can be done in half the time. A is the point 8, 7, B is the point -2, 11, and C is the point 1, 7. Calculate the area of triangle ABC. We first sketch the points on a graph to visualize the triangle. To find the area of the triangle, we use the area of a polygon formula with 3 sides. The x and y's of each point is arranged vertically as seen here. The values of x and y are multiplied diagonally. The sum of the products of the red dotted lines are subtracted with the sum of the products of the orange dotted line. Simplifying the values, we get the answer 14 units squared. But wait, let's look at the diagram again. There's actually a simpler way to solve this. We know the area of a triangle is half multiplied the base multiplied the height. By counting the number of boxes horizontally and vertically, we can get the height and base. Therefore, the area of the triangle is half multiplied 7 multiplied 4, which is 14 units squared. Number 4. Recognizing the equation forms in this question from SPM 2018 is crucial to solving it. This question teaches us that remembering the formula and theorem alone does not guarantee success. We need to be versatile and creative in how we use them. The equation of two lines are as follows. AB is y minus 2kx equals to 0, and CD, x over 3h plus y over 4 equals to 1. Given the straight lines AB and CD are perpendicular to each other, express h in terms of k. We first change y minus 2kx equals to 0 into gradient form, which is y equals to 2kx. 2k would be the gradient. The second equation is already in the intercept form, giving us 3h as the x-intercept and 4 as the y-intercept. We are able to obtain the gradient from the intercepts. The formula is negative intercept y over intercept x. Since AB and CD are perpendicular, we are able to use the perpendicular line theorem, which is gradient AB multiplied gradient CD equals to -1. We substitute the gradients we got earlier and we form an equation. We get h equals to 2 over 3k. Number 3. Most dangerous questions are often the questions that trick you into thinking that it is easy. This causes you to lower down your guard. This particular question from SPM 2016 did just that. It gave all the information and even sketched the graph for you. I personally know that students made silly mistakes in various points of their workings. The diagram below shows two straight lines on a Cartesian plane. Both the lines are perpendicular to each other. State the value of Q and the coordinates of F. We first use the perpendicular lines gradient formula. Gradient 1 multiplied gradient 2 equals to negative 1. We get the gradients of the lines from the equation itself, which are 3 and q. We get q equals to negative 1 over 3. To find intersection point F, we use the simultaneous equation solutions. Rearranging the equation, we get x equals to negative 3. We substitute the x we got into equation 1 and we get y equals to negative 5. So point F is negative 3, negative 5. Number 2. This question from GCE O-levels June 2016 paper stumped many students. The conventional way of solving geometry of coordinates is pretty much useless here. This is another example of how important it is to sketch. Only by sketching for this question, you will realize how simple the solution is. The coordinates of the midpoint of the line AB are 1 and 2. The length of the line AB is 10 units. If gradient of AB is 3 over 4, find the coordinates of A and B. We first sketch an ascending line since the gradient is positive and the midpoint of the line is 1, 2. It is given that the length of AB is 10, so the length of each segment is 5. Gradient is the length of y divided by the length of x. Since the gradient is 3 over 4, so the ratio of the length of y over the length of x is 3 over 4. The values 3, 4 and 5 fit perfectly in a right angle triangle. So to obtain the x value of A, we move 4 units to the left of the midpoint, which is 1 minus 4. And the y value of A is 3 units below the midpoint. To obtain the x value of B, we move 4 units to the right of the midpoint, which is 1 plus 4. And for the y value, we move 3 units above, which is 2 plus 3. Giving us the answer for point A as negative 3, negative 1, and for B, 5, 5. Number 1. Alright, we're at number 1, the toughest geometry of coordinates question in the last 5 years. And guys, this question is tougher than all the other 9 questions put together. There are so many steps in this question that it is virtually impossible to picture all those steps in your mind. But don't worry, there is a way to tackle these types of questions. You need to work your way backwards from the final answer. The question wants us to find the area of a triangle. So you need to ask yourself, what do I need in order to find the area of a triangle? The answer is 3 coordinates. And from there, you work your way backwards, and then you will find the solution. The line y equals to 2x plus 1 intersects the curve xy equals to 14 minus 2y at the points P and Q. The midpoint of the line PQ is the point M. The line PQ intersects the y-axis at the point R. The perpendicular bisector of PQ intersects the y-axis at point S. Find the area of the triangle RSM. In order to find the area of the triangle, we need to find the points R, S, and M. Since M is the midpoint of PQ, we first need to know the points P and Q before we can find M. To find the intersecting points, we use the simultaneous equation solutions. We name y equals to 2x plus 1 as equation 1 and xy equals to 14 minus 2y as equation 2. We first substitute equation 1 into 2, replacing y with 2x plus 1. We move all our terms to the left and we simplify them, and then we factorize the terms. We solve the terms in each bracket separately. The first answer for x is 3 over 2, and the second answer for x is negative 4. We substitute each values of x into equation 1, and we get two answers, y equals to 4 and y equals to negative 7. So point P is negative 4, negative 7, and point Q is 3 over 2, 4. Now that we know points P and Q, we can start sketching. M is the midpoint of PQ, R is the y-intercept of PQ, and S is the y-intercept of the perpendicular line of PQ. The area shaded in purple is triangle RSM. Next, we need to find point M, which is the midpoint of PQ. To find midpoint, we use the midpoint formula, which is x of P plus x of Q divided by 2, and y of P plus y of Q divided by 2. Substituting the values, we get the midpoint negative 5 over 4 and negative 3 over 2. Next, we find point S. Since line MS is perpendicular to PQ, we can use the gradient formula. Gradient of PQ multiplied the gradient of MS equals to negative 1. We can get the gradient of PQ directly from the equation, which is the coefficient of x, which is 2. Substituting 2 into the equation, we get the gradient of MS equals to negative 1 over 2. Point S is on the y-intercept, which means the x value is 0. So we just need to find the y value for point S. Using the gradient formula and substituting the gradient we got earlier, which is negative 1 over 2, we can use that to find the y coordinate of S. So we get the y-intercept of MS as negative 17 over 8. Since point R is on the y-axis, the x value is 0. So we substitute 0 into the equation y equals to 2x plus 1 to obtain the y coordinate of R. Now we are ready to find the area of the triangle. There are several methods to do this, but I'm going to teach you the quickest way. We know this is a right angle triangle because the two lines on the triangle is perpendicular. So we just need to find the height multiplied with the base. The height of the triangle is the horizontal distance from point M to the y-axis, which is the x-coordinate value. The base of the triangle is the vertical distance from point R to point S, which is 1 minus negative 17 over 8. So we get the area of the triangle equals to half multiplied 25 over 8 multiplied with 5 over 4, which is 125 over 64 units squared. There you have the top 10 geometry of coordinates exam questions and how to approach them. If you can take home one lesson from this video, is that it is very important to sketch out the question first. This will not only give us the full picture of what the question wants, but also give us the mental boost and confidence to solve the question. As usual, I would like you to tell me what you think of this list, whether you agree or disagree. Just comment in the comment section below. If you liked this video and want to see more videos like this, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you again in the next video. Bye.